One death was not enough of a tragedy for this family. No, there had to be more. And a lot of times we get into family history, we're going to find a lot of really great stuff, but we're going to find some stuff that are not so much. There'll be some downright tragedies, and that's what happened recently. A new member and cugina to my Facebook group, Descendants of Carini, very new to getting into family history, wanted to see how they were connected. So I wanted to find their nono, or their grandfather, and all we had was an idea of when he was born, because we knew when he was married, so we could just go 20 some odd years from there. And unfortunately, even though we have really great index records for Carini, Sicilia, done by James Bianco's team, which was fantastic, the work that they did with these files, they only get up to 1911. So he wasn't in here, so I had to go into the actual records themselves and start going. So Antonetti, I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Not even close, bud.
I'll have to leave the link in the description so you can get the Italian records. And this is actually Sicily. So I was going to go through the records 1 year at a time. Yeah, because they're great records, but they're not indexed, which is really unfortunate. So I did get to some that weren't related to who I was looking for. So names are going to jump out, and this name jumped out at me. Okay, you can see here, it is Pietro Amato. Pietro Amato is actually the namesake of my bisnonno, Pietro Randazzo, because he's named for his grandfather, Pietro Amato. So I got this. This is actually 1912. We know that because we can look right here for those who speak Italiano. Dodici, 12. So it's also April. And what caught my eye after I saw it was Pietro Amato was this, nato morto.
Mort.
That's really, really sad. Pietro died. He was basically born, he was a stillborn, which really, really is sad. And it turns out, a little spoiler, he doesn't have a death record. This is it. So I looked in the death records and they're not there. And I was looking in the death records because that's the other tragedy that came in here. Because what I noticed, and he actually, this Pietro Amato is on my Amato line. He is a third cousin. Because when I looked on here, his father, which is also Pietro, was remarried to Giovanna Randazzo. Yeah, Randazzo married to an Amato. There's a shock, right?
I'm shocked.
So I got to thinking, now, maybe there's a little more going on here. And it turns out, as you can see from this, Maria Stella died 4 May 1912. So not only was the baby stillborn, but Maria Stella Carollo passed away also. So this is this is her Adi de Morte. This is her death record. You can see there, Maria Stella, she's 29. Oh, that's terrible. Her son was born dead, we know here, 27, which is the 27th of April. And so a little more than a week later, there must have been a complication from the childbirth, and she wound up passing away, sadly also, which is really unfortunate. But that's what we're going to find, unfortunately, doing family history. It's full of ups and downs. And so we're going to find things like this, you know, and especially back then when typically when I see that a baby has passed away very young, a day or two, there's probably a pretty good chance the mother may have passed away also, especially the further back we go, that the child mortality rate and the maternal mortality rate was much, much higher than it is today. Unless, of course, we're talking about Mississippi, but that's a whole other video. So that was really unfortunate. That was a double tragedy there, but I guess Pietro didn't feel too bad about it because he got married. He got married the next year. So I guess that was kind of a common thing, but at least he didn't marry her sister. So there's some good that came out of that. And that's going to do it for this video. Do not let that discourage you from doing your family history. There are a ton of great stories in there to get, and whether they're good or bad.
I just want to hear the story.
It's always great to have more context about our familia, even if it's a tragedy such as this, because a lot of times that can fill in some missing context that we don't know about a great grandfather or a grandmother. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and you know what to do now.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.